hit them with that act reacher. Y'all gonna learn today. I'm a teacher. That act reacher. Get into the bag like berserker, boy. Fuck around, I'ma hurt you, boy. Stiff jab, side step, uppercut you, boy. The champ is here, you can't survive in my circle, boy. Yeah. Look at my drip right here. Universe is all I wear. Red Fox logo right here. Yeah. I breathe a different air. They can't spar with me. Blood, sweat, and tears. You see the scars on me. I need a fast bag. Split second bag. I need it hitting like a speed bag. Yeah.
I'm free. I'm free, y'all.
Yes. What's going down, peoples? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to my peoples and my guys. Look alive. It's your boy Act Reacher with another episode of the Jab Jamboree, produced by the LDBC, executive produced by the full Berserker clan. Shout out to the usual suspects. Make sure y'all shop usualsuspects6.com because you fit the description. Yeah, man. So last weekend was a crazy introduction to the Amazon Prime. I felt like we got left with more questions than answers. But, you know, sometimes that's how it goes in this boxing game. Today, we're going to talk about what pretty much everybody been talking about. Who's going to win the Fundora Sweepstakes? And salute to my bro, hold on. My brother, the first one in the building. Salute to my bro D-Man. You know what I mean? It's my guy right there. He had a birthday a day or two ago. So y'all all wish my bro well. And before I even get started, this is for me and everybody that picked Fundora.
What is going on? Guys, look at all these crows. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, I meant Tim Zoo. Let me talk about it real quick. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you watch the beginning of those first couple rounds, Tim Zoo was working out. Tim Zoo was definitely working out. Now, I'll even admit, before the fight and everything getting changed, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit of panic. It definitely was a bit of panic because I was like, dang, he got to change the opponent so late, you know, into the weeks of the fight. And Fundora came as a replacement opponent. Not only did he come as a replacement opponent, they put belts on the line. Tim Zoo WBO was put on the line, which it wasn't put on the line with Keith Thurman. With Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman had to pull out of the fight due to injuries. So somebody was willing to step up, and that was Sebastian Fundora. And, you know, if I don't salute him for nothing else, I'ma salute Sebastian Fundora for stepping up to the plate when Keith Thurman couldn't. But back to the fight. So the first couple rounds, maybe 3 or 4 rounds, you seen Tim Tszyu, he was able to handle Fundora. Fundora, that's not his normal style that he fought with that past weekend. Fundora normally is the tall dude that likes to get on the inside. He kind of like Robert Easter used to do. When people used to say Robert Easter didn't utilize his height and things like that, that's basically kind of what Fundora does. And Fundora on that night, it wasn't the best jab, but he's so tall and rangy that all he had to do was just put the jab out there. Him putting the jab out there, it showed that he could utilize his height. I didn't think that he looked at that great doing it, but lo and behold, Tim Tszyu ended up getting cut. It was by an elbow to the head. Now, Tim Tszyu, next time have a little bit of hair on your head, champ. He went with the light Caesar. He should have had the Kasazu. He should have had the Kasazu cut. Maybe if he had the Kasazu cut, it wouldn't have been that bad. But once that happened, where the blood started leaking into Tim Tszyu's eye, that was the changing of the guard right there. Because before that, Fundora was getting touched up all in the face. He even had a bloody nose. So it was really a real bloody, grueling fight. Now, I got to bang the gavel. I got to issue some gavel bangs for those doctors. And, you know what I'm saying? I got to, because the number one rule that everybody that's not fighting is supposed to be for the fighter's safety. It's supposed to be for the fighter's safety. They should have at least let it after the 4th round. They should have stopped it. And it should have just been a no contest, and they should have ran it back. I'm in line with everybody that says that. I'm not saying that because Fundora was bloody too. He was leaking out his nose. He could barely breathe. But as the fight kept continuing on, the blood was going straight to Tim Tszyu's eye. So that altered his vision. That altered his punch output. Because like I said, if you pay attention to before he got cut, he was working Fundora. And he still did pretty well for somebody to have a bloody face and to have all that blood leaking in his eye. It's like every time he would throw a punch, he would wipe his eye. And I also got a grievance with that corner because I felt like Joe Goosen, when he was commentating, he dropped a lot of good gems about what you need, outside of like with the adrenaline, and I forgot what other medicines he said that slow down the blood and things like that. So I didn't think that cut man was best. Whoever was the cut man in Tim Tszyu's corner. The reason why I felt like Tim Tszyu deserved to get that no contest is because he took a late replacement opponent. He thought he was going to be fighting Keith Thurman. Then he got a whole nother change with a tall, rangy dude. So I thought that just should have happened, and not just for him, for Fundora too. Fundora had a broken nose. It was just a real grueling, bloody fight. I don't know what they was trying to prove by letting the fight continue. But it is what it is. Fundora ended up getting the win. He ended up becoming the WBC and the WBO champion, which I think is unfair because he didn't beat Mel Charlo to even deserve that title. He didn't even beat Mel Charlo. But then again, a little of the blame does go to Mel Charlo because he wanted to move up and fight Canelo. I think he should have left Canelo where he was at. Now, I know the payday was probably good. But to me personally, I don't think it was worth it because I think even outside of the ring, look at everything that transpired. Now, Mel, all his belts is relinquished, all the Infinity Stones is scattered. Well, they're not all scattered. Fundora got 2 of them now. This just goes to show you, see what happens when you got a strong team. Because look at this. This man got knocked out by Brian Mendoza. And look how Fundora got rewarded. He got a vacant belt and he ended up getting Tim Tszú's belt. The same thing happened with a person in the co-main. If you pay attention, if you remember, Rolly, he ended up taking a knockout loss to Tank. And then he got to fight for a vacant belt at 140, the Super WBA title. What happened to the days of you got to work your way back? What happened to those days? It just seems like if you got the right people in your corner with the right amount of money, it just don't even matter. You could become a world champion even after a devastating loss, which is amazing to me. The crazy thing about all of this is I don't even think that Tim Tszú is going to get a chance to win his belt back or compete against Fundora for the unification again. They said that they only gave his team said they only gave Fundora's team a verbal agreement that there was a rematch clause. This is a lesson to everybody out there. Don't ever do no verbal agreements in boxing. Make sure that joint is contractually bound. Point blank and period. Because now look, the dude that was the champion is going to have to climb his way back when he was at the top of the world. And like I said, a little bit of the blame goes to Mel Charlo. Because if Mel Charlo would have just stayed there and stayed the man at 154, all these belts wouldn't be scattered around like that. You'd already have fought Tim Tszú and so on and so forth. But meanwhile, while that was taking place, we heard maybe a week or two, maybe even longer than that, what Terrence Crawford planned on doing. They said Terrence Crawford, he planned on activating his mandatory with the WBO to go compete against Tim Tszyu, which I didn't mind that fight. And he was supposed to be getting the winner. But then on the other side of that coin, Earl Spence said he was going to get the winner. So Earl Spence ended up showing up to the fight. Earl Spence shows up to the fight and basically gets to enter the ring. And he bet money on Fundora too. I wonder how much money he bet on Fundora. And what ended up happening was, oh damn, all my stuff done fell off the couch. He ended up basically, saying that he wants to fight next. And he also tweeted about it. Him and Terrence Crawford kind of got into an exchange. Terrence Crawford said, I think before he interacted with Earl, he said, you lost the fight. You got to work your way back. And hold on. Let me get in the comments. Salute, Shade Girl. Salute. Salute, Queen. He said basically that, he got to work his way back. This is that and the third. And Terrence Crawford said, basically, you're going to have to wait in line. Earl Spence replied, said, I don't do lines. And they talked about how Earl looked like a linebacker or whatever, so on. So y'all know how Earl and Terrence Crawford do. Now, what I think is going to happen is Fundora's team is going to make him drop that WBO belt, even if he really wants to fight Terrence Crawford because he thinks that Terrence Crawford is the best in the world and he wants to prove himself. I think he's going to listen to his team. They got him in that position for that vacant belt. And he's a champion now. Even though I gotta put you, Fundora, even though you won champ, I gotta put you in that raccoon champion category. Now, for those that don't know what a raccoon champion is, a raccoon champion is somebody that didn't have no belts, but they fighting a person for belts and ends up collecting everything. So just so, and remember, I coined that phrase. So right now, the ultimate raccoon champion is Fundora. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah. Yup. He gotta be. He gotta be suspended for 6 months. Yup. You're right, Shay Girl. I know he is. He gotta be after that brutal type of fight. They both are. I just don't know how long that head cut for Tim Tszyu is going to take to heal. I don't know how long that'll take to heal. I know it's all stitched up. I seen the pictures. In my opinion, if I was Terrence Crawford, I wouldn't even really worry so much on which person I'm gonna fight. As long as you, as long as you give me one of them belts, we cool. As long as you, because if they was gonna let him keep him, then complain. But if he's gonna relinquish that WBO belt, if he want to fight Earl, let him fight Earl. If he want to fight Earl, let him fight Earl. If Fundora don't want to fight you, who cares? As long as you relieved him, alleviated him from one of them belts, who cares? Your concern is getting that WBO strap. Now, if he don't come off of that, then you get tight and all of that and all of that. You know what I mean? But it's looking like he gonna relinquish that belt anyway. And I think he gonna fight Earl Spence. He wanted to fight Earl Spence anyway. I mean, Shea Girl, he can't keep both of them because the WBO said whoever win the fight has to go into negotiations with Terrence Crawford. It don't matter what this side of the street says or the people that's on that side of the street said. That's what the WBO said. It was an article in there. So if he wants to still be a unified champion, he's gonna have to fight Terrence Crawford. So what he's gonna end up doing is he's gonna relinquish that WBO belt. And if he really wants to fight Earl, he's just gonna fight Earl for the WBC. Uh-oh. My boy here. Hold on.
I read that the good doctor.
The good doctor. KG, I know you don't drink Pepsi, but I'm sorry, not Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Remember when they was doing them commercials for Dr. Pepper? And they was like, trust me, I'm a doctor. Yo, oh man, I could picture KG and Dr. Mark having their own commercial. Trust me, I'm a doctor. They gave Julius Irvin one. Anybody that was like that had the doctor tag behind their name. Everybody got that commercial for Dr. Pepper. He said the PBC and the WBO don't see eye to eye anyway. Yep. Again, I agree with you again, Shay Girl. I agree with you again. But like I said, if I was Terrence Crawford, my concern wouldn't really be like as long as he coming off of that, as long as he coming off of that title, whatever, go ahead, fight Earl. As long as you coming off of that belt that was promised to me, do what you got to do. Shoot, what Denzel said in American Gangster when he first went to when he first went to Korea and he was talking to his cousin. He said, and if that dope don't arrive for any reason, he said, Frank, he said, I ain't got no time to be burying the cousin. That's what type of time Terrence Crawford is on. Give me that WBO belt. Whatever you do with the WBC, that's on you. That's definitely on you. As long as he get that WBO belt, if Fundora, and then I don't think that it's like what K, and I agree with K John. I don't think that is what Fundora wants. I think it's what his team wants. When he was on Drew's show, I think he said that. I think Fundora wouldn't mind fighting Terrence Crawford or Earl. I don't think he really cared, but I think he's going to move accordingly because his team is the reason why he got to fight for 2 titles. He really shouldn't be a world champion. There should have been other dudes. I know there's other dudes at 54 that is higher in the rankings than him. They should have got that chance. Let alone him. Maybe he should look if he was the replacement opponent. Maybe he should have fought for the WBO. But I'm not feeling what the WBC did. I'm not. I gotta actually. I gotta issue some gavel bangs. Sorry, I gotta bang the gavel, man. I have to bang the gavel. Like the dude, I can understand if he lost to Brian Mendoza in a tough, competitive fight. Cool. Bro, you just got scoped and then you end up getting a fight for 2 belts. I think there was other dudes that was climbing their way back. Look at my man Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is one of my favorite fighters with multiple losses. I'm gonna keep it real because he always grinding and he always tries to level up after each loss. He didn't go into no title fight right away. Why couldn't he get a shot? Or why couldn't he get a rematch with Fundora? So I just don't think that's right, man. I don't think that's right. And I also think Tim Tszyu should still have the belt. I think that the doctors and the ring physicians and the referee, they was out of line by letting that fight keep going. They always say, the number one rule is the safety of the fighter, and this, that, and the third. Yeah, I didn't care about the safety of the fighters that night. Between both of them boys leaked a pint of blood, past the pint of blood. Fundora could barely breathe. It wasn't just Tim Tszyu. You seen Fundora at the post-fight press conference? He looked like he became a. Come on, man. I ain't even gonna go there, man. Come on, man. His nose was done. And I already could kind of see the play where it was going because they was trying to make him and his sister, what they say, him and his first brother and sisters, something. I forgot what the record was. I don't know. They something with Gabriella and him. You know what I mean? I don't really like Fundora. I like the sister though. I don't like Fundora though. You know what I mean? Because he's when I think of Raccoon champions right now in recent memory, I don't care what nobody says. He gonna always be the number one Raccoon champion right now in boxing. He the number one. He went into there with nothing and got everything and stole everything. Robbed the bank without a mask. Looked like Denzel in Training Day when he went in Macy Gray house.
Thanks for your cooperation. Let's go.
I want to see that warrant.
What?
I want to see that goddamn warrant.
That's what they did to Tim Tszyu. And shout out to him for taking it like a man. KG laughing. That's what they did. That I ain't joking. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. Should have stopped that fight, man. That goes for everybody. The trainers, everybody, the cut man, everybody that was not fighting. The number one rule is protect the fighter. They did a horrible job with that. Terrible job. Terrible job. Should be ashamed of themselves because they done stop fights for way less. Dudes wasn't even hurt like that. They done stop fights. But dudes is bleeding all over the ring on both sides. And then you like should have stopped it. Called it a no contest. They could have ran it back. Don't nobody else at 154 got nothing else better to do right now since Jamal Charlo relinquished all of the. Since Jamel Charlo had to give up all the belts. I'm just nervous now to see where the other belts go. I'm nervous to see where the other belts go, man. Don't make no sense, man. I think that was wrong, man. How they did Tim Zoo, man. And Tim Zoo is a real one because he didn't even complain or anything. And I am a little mad at his team. You're going to do a verbal agreement with Samson. Samson looked like one of them dudes that'll slick you. And he always smiling. Always smiling. You seen Samson didn't say nothing. Fundora had the two belts in his hands, nose leaking. He just cheesing. What if one of them would have passed out and then they would have had to pull the stretch out? Then what? And like I said, Fundora really wanted to fight Earl anyway. He said it before all of this stuff went down. I think he was at one of them boxing Hall of Fame meetings. Matter of fact, when Andre Ward and Floyd and all of them got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Fundora was there. And I remember he did an interview and Fundora was saying how facts. That's all he was doing, Kate. He was just cheesing. What's her name? Gotta put, you know how you put the tissue in your nose so it stop bleeding? Fundora getting the tissue, putting his nose and all of that, and you just see Samson on the side of him just cheesing in the camera. He can't stop smiling. Like he smoked a bag of dope. Just cheesing. He looked like freaking Garfield. Remember Garfield the cat? When he would smile, when he would see the lasagna. That's how Samson looked. He looked like Garfield before he was getting ready to body some lasagna. And like I said, he wanted to fight Earl anyway. Really. Even though I think that the numbers would do good if I'm looking at it from a boxer and the business of boxing aspect, it would do good numbers with Fundora fighting in Texas. If they do it somewhere in like Arlington or whatever, they usually do. And it would probably be a good comeback fight from Earl. But I'm going to keep it a stack. That's going to be a grueling fight. It ain't going to be one of them fights, I feel like. And then on top of that, we got to see what happens, because that fight that Earl got into with Terrence Crawford, I got to keep it a stack. That was a real grueling fight. So we don't know if like certain effects. I still got Earl winning, but will it be easy like the other fights? Because you got to take into account, after a grueling fight that he had with Terrence Crawford, we don't know if the punch resistance went down. People don't take all of that stuff into consideration. I'm going to tell you something based on a true story. So remember Rolly fought Tank, right? And remember Rolly, when he would fight and get touched up, he would never go down or anything like that. Salute to my bro, Mr. Sheldon, Mr. Possum Meat himself. No Diddy. And remember, Rolly used to be knocking stuff out or whatever. He would get controversies, but he would never go down or get clipped or anything like that. And then he ran into Tank Davis. And Tank Davis clicked that button. No, he clicked that button. Tank wasn't even paying attention. What Calvin was talking to him. We over there, his mom dancing, and he still knocked Rolly out. Bad too. Up to a point to where that really affected Rolly going forward. Pay attention. Stay with me now. Stay with me, true believers. What they used to say back in them days in them old TV shows, y'all old heads used to watch. Stay with me, true believers. So then he spars Jahan, a up and coming 130 pounder who's in Floyd's team, who's part of the money team. Headgear on, bigger gloves, everything. He gets scoped. I think that was a harder punch than what Tank landed. And Jahan really Rolly got back up, but he was really rattled. Then he fights the Aztec Warrior. He gets put down and ends up getting the win. And then now, but you see where I'm going with this? Your punch resistance can go down in one fight, depending on if you get hit by the right person or not. Because ever since Tank got to him, he ain't never been the same. He said Tank and the Aztec Warrior got. Yeah, but look, Mr. Sheldon, you didn't pay attention to the timeline. Shout out to Dwayne Lowe. He said, shout out to the mighty LDBC in chat from London. Salute. Salute to the man them. How y'all say in London? Salute, bro. Make sure you sub, like, share, and subscribe. But Mr. Sheldon, I'm serious. Pay attention to the timeline. Tank knocked him out. Then in sparring, Jahan happened before the Aztec Warrior. That clip that you seen Rolly get knocked out in the gym, and you got to take into account that's with bigger gloves and headgear on. And then the Aztec Warrior, and then now Pitbull. The punch resistance ain't there. He said Rolly's too slow to be Chinny. Yeah, but look, even back in the day, like, cause we used to really be like, I remember me 503 and Steel. We was watching him when he was like 7 and 8 and 0, 9 and 0. When he used to go, yes, yes, yes. When he used to be doing that in the fights, and he used to be getting clipped. He wasn't going down. Even before he fought Tank, he get clipped, he wouldn't go down. In sparring, he would be getting clipped in sparring too, but he wouldn't go down. I'm telling you, man, that punch resistance went down after Tank got to him. It's not a theory, it's a fact. He said Team Spence. Oh yeah, look, man, I like Spence and Crawford, so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't mind if Earl get that fight. Fundora called him out anyway. It's just if it would have been for the two belts, then I got a different opinion on that. But I think he's gonna relinquish the WBO and fight Spence, and they're gonna fight in like Arlington. I think they're gonna fight somewhere in Texas, so they could capitalize on that dollar. And that's actually, to me, a good comeback fight for Earl. That's a good litmus test for Earl. And I don't know who Terrence Crawford is gonna fight. What did he might fight one of the dudes that's ranked for that WBO title. Oh, Sheldon said I was actually surprised Pitbull didn't put him down. He got him with a lot of shots. Well, that was Pitbull's first time at 140, so. But I just knew Pitbull was gonna win, and I picked the 8th round, double points. Yes, Lord, double points. It was crazy. I was a little nervous because that's why Red said what he said. He said, "Act, you was hoping and praying that because you picked the 8th round, he really would have got out of there the 7th, but the time expired or whatever. So I was happy, and I knew once the 8th round happened, I knew I knew what was gonna happen. I knew what was gonna happen. But back to Earl and Fundora. Like I said, I like that fight. I don't mind. It didn't, to me, it don't really matter which one of them he would have fought. If he would have fought Terrence Crawford, I'd have been cool with him fighting Terrence Crawford. But if you ask me what's the more, even though I don't think he will win with either one of them, who he got a better chance with, I think he got a better chance fighting Earl. If I'm looking at it from a boxing perspective, he got stylistically, he got a better chance fighting Earl. That's the guy honest truth. Especially after that loss. Now, can Fundora do that? No, I don't think he could do that. I think even Earl moving up to 54 is going to be too much for Fundora. But the question is, will it be an easy win for Earl? I got a lot of questions. Will 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 the people that's in that weight class? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Mr. Sheldon. If I'm looking at it from a boxer and the boxing business perspective, yeah, there's a Mexican fan base down there in Texas. So yeah, it definitely make more sense for him to fight. It makes more sense for him to fight Earl. Definitely make more sense. And I think that's what his team wants anyway. Trust and believe. I think that's what Sampson and them is telling him to do. Fight Earl Spence. Drop the WBO. She said, I think he will or rematch Tim. See, my only thing with that, Queen, is again, talking about and good morning. Hope you had your coffee. Again, my problem is with that team. Why wouldn't you have it contractually bound that after this fight, he has to rematch Tim Zoo? From what the sources say, they only had a verbal agreement with the teams. So he don't really have to honor a rematch with Tim Zoo if he don't want to. I think he should. She said no coffee yet. Don't give me no mean face. I didn't do it to you. I definitely think that he should rematch Tim Zoo, but his team probably don't think that. They probably like, yo, let's just go for Earl. So basically, in my opinion, nothing is set in stone. This is just me guessing. I'm guessing that he's gonna get the Earl Spence fight. Now, if he does rematch Tim Zoo, I'll actually be happy about that. I'll be a little bit more happy about that because I think Tim Zoo deserves it. But if he don't, like I said, I'm not mad if he fights Earl or Crawford. Not mad at all. But I think he's going to take that Spence direction because the setting, the style of fight. And like I said, I got a lot of questions. If Earl does get this fight, like, is he the same Earl after the Terrence Crawford loss? So it's a lot. Like I said, this weekend gave us more questions than answers. It left us with more questions than answers. And this fight had to be the most bloodiest fight that I seen in a while on both sides. All you just see them all bleeding profusely. Yeah, I think they both are. They have to. When your nose breaks or you get cut like that, it's automatic. That's automatic. The commission, that's automatic with both of them. Now I don't know if that's going to tie into the business and negotiations. And salute to my brother Steels. Make sure y'all shop Usual Suspect 6 because you fit the description. Yeah, it's about to start getting hot still. So I'm gonna have to go back on the site, see what's going on. Yeah, Queen. But that Queen. That's the UK. The UK, they don't even be caring. I seen a dude that had like 100 losses and he was able to fight in the UK. He said, so Spencer's going to wait after. Good question. That's a good question, Steels. That's a good question. I think Spencer wait. I She said that's the UK. Come on, bro. Look, man. Even though they do stop stuff easily, you at the same other side of that coin, they do stop things, the littlest things. But I felt like because Fabio Wardley, his face always be mangled. Like I done literally watched like 3 or 4 fights where Fabio Wardley face got mangled and they didn't do nothing about it. That wasn't the first time. Steels to tell you that. And like I said, they do their own thing over there. I feel like that fight here should have been stopped. This fight should have been stopped and been a no contest, and they should have rematched. Uh, our fella said Team Fundora will choose an inactive Spence. Yes. They definitely are. I agree with that wholeheartedly. They're gonna choose Spence. That's a more with the styles of them both. That's a more winnable fight. Not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying that's a more winnable fight. If you're a boxer and you look at it from a boxing perspective, I don't care who likes Spence or who like Crawford or not. On both sides, everybody, if they had to choose and they put it like you got to fight Earl or you got to fight Crawford. And I'm talking about the Spence fans, the Bud fans, and dudes that's fans of both of them. You gonna fight Earl. It's easier stylistically. Not saying you gonna win. You might mess around and get your eye broke, your rib broke, everything broke, but you may think you might have a chance. And then with Terrence Crawford, somebody that could go conventional and then southpaw, and you know what I mean? And it's just a whole lot of stuff to deal with. So that's how I feel about Fundora. Not questioning Fundora's merit or his heart, but I just gotta keep it real. Like he already wanted to fight Earl. He felt like he could compete with Earl when he was at that Hall of Fame ceremony with Andre Ward and James Toney and Floyd Mayweather. He was there and he was in the crowd, and I remember go look it up on YouTube. And they asked him, And he said, I want to fight Earl Spence. So that's why I can't really be mad at it, because he called out Earl. So it doesn't really matter what's fair or not. To me, the only way it's not fair is if Earl fight for 2 of them belts, which I don't think is going to happen. Salute to my first sub, Mark Wonderlid. Salute. I ain't see you in a while, champ. Good to see you. That's the only way that it's not fair, but that ain't going to happen, because the WBO literally stated before even the switching of opponents that the winner of that fight has to go into negotiations with Terrence Crawford. So I believe in my heart he's going to drop that. She said EJ going to break that eye. So I believe in my heart that Fundora is going to drop the belt and he's going to fight Earl for the WBC. And I don't know what's going on with the super welterweight IBF belt or the WBA. Couldn't tell you. I don't know what's going on with those belts. But some of these dudes at 54 is about to become champions. And them belts is about to be scattered all over again. So, to me, the winner of the sweepstakes is, and this is just a guess, I think the winner of this sweepstakes is going to be Earl Spence. Yeah, that's how I feel, Queen. I agree. Don't even worry about if you don't get Fundora. As long as he came up off that belt, as long as he get that belt, it don't matter. Because that was really the whole purpose, for you to get the you activated the WBO. So he's probably gonna have to fight one of the number 1 dudes that's ranked in the WBO. It could be Tim Tszyu. We might end up getting a Tim Tszyu fight. She said, I'm sure that they'll let Kazoo fight for the vacant position, and he's better than Thunderbird anyway. I think so too. It's just my man, he got cut up and was leaking on. Like I said, if you look at them first couple rounds, I already seen how the fight was going to go. But then his head started leaking, blood started getting all in his eye, and it got ugly. It got Sam Cassell ugly. Shoot, but he wasn't the only one bleeding. Don't with that, what they used to say, what DJ Drama used to say, can't forget. Well, how you say his name? Maz Rudolph is the WBA IBF is vacant. Yeah, I seen that dude, Steels. Woo, I seen that dude. Ooh. Yeah, I seen that dude. What is he? What is he, Steels? He's Russian? He's Kazakh? What is he? Is he Ukrainian? Which one of them countries he's from? He's Russian? What is he? Oh, Uzbekistan. Okay. Yeah, he looked like he hit hard. Mark Wonders said my daughter's going in for dental surgery right now. Okay, prayers up for you, man. Prayers up for you, man. Hope everything go well. And Queen says, so why is everybody crying? This is way better for everyone. I mean, you know why? Because everybody assumed that and if they would have paid attention, everybody assumed that Fundora probably was going to be able to keep both of the belts and fight Earl for him. In my opinion, I don't think that that's the concern. As long as he come up off of that WBO belt, in my opinion, because Terrence Crawford can still care. You know what I mean? I'm not in their head. As long as he come up off of that WBO belt, if he want to go fight Earl, whatever, let him do whatever he got to do. As long as he come up out of off of that WBO belt, it's not your concern. What Denzel said in training day, say, yeah, Jake, shoot me right here. He said, I'm gonna get that gun and I'm gonna get that money, and you ain't gonna do it. That's what type of top Terrence Crawford is. He want that belt. If he get that belt, I don't think that he should care about fighting Fundora. I mean, I wouldn't. If I was a WBO champion and you know what I mean, it was somebody that had an emphatic win, and I said I wanted to fight this person, and the WBO said, yeah, they got to go to negotiations with ACT, whoever wins this. Obviously, if you don't fight me, you're going to get stripped anyway. So you might as well relinquish the belt, give it to me, and let me fight whoever else is at the top in that sanctioning body. And we're going to keep it pushing. And then maybe, if Earl gets the win, you get the WBC belt. We see, what I mean? Maybe I could do that song and dance again. Somehow, some way. Or whatever, however it happened. Or maybe he might fight Mel. I don't know. Since allegedly Earl spent time with Derek James. He said, where's Charlo though? I heard a rumor that Charlo's comeback fight, I heard his comeback fight is going to be against Tony Harrison. Again, this is alleged. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I never said I believed it. I'm just letting you know what I heard. There's no article on it. She said it's not like Thunderbird is a big star Tim is a bigger fight than and better opponent, so I don't know what the crying is for. Well, from what Tim Zoo was saying, Tim Zoo liked the idea of fighting Earl too before Saturday. It sounded like he was going to lead towards the Earl side. Now, whether the WBO was going to allow, salute Tay Tay. Now, whether the WBO was going to allow that, that's a whole nother can of worms. Whole nother can of worms. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. He said Charlo is entitled to be next up. I agree with you, Steels, because he is the champion in recess. So they say. Oh, Queen, I guess you're referring to Tim Zoo. She said, I guess she's saying Tim Zoo. If Tim Zoo gets to fight Bud for the vacant title, it's a win-win for everybody. Yeah, if he win the fight. If Fundora too, if Fundora wins the fight against Earl, it'll be a win-win for them too. But back to what Steele said, I do think that Charlo is entitled as soon as he's ready, able, and willing to come back. He need that belt. He need to fight for that belt. Cause him having that whole dilemma outside of the ring, he paid for it.
Somebody paid for it. You didn't pay for it.
Oh, word? She said, okay, but the Ninja Mel just had a seizure, so he's out. This is 154, Tay Tay, super welterweight or junior middleweight. Uh, Steele said the seizure hasn't been confirmed. No hospital reports, just hearsay. He said the uncle told Blue. Dang. Dang, prayers up. Prayers up for Mel Charlo. I didn't know that. Yeah, prayers up for him, man. I hope all is well. And shoot, I'm kind of speechless on that. Hope all is well. And hopefully he gets cleared. It is true, and because he was definitely a force at 154. To me, he was still the man at 154, despite that whole Canelo thing. He was still the man to me at 154. Yeah, Tay, prayers up for your dad too. So I guess we'll see, y'all. We will see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, if it's true. Yeah, if it's true, prayers up for Mel Charlo. He's definitely gave us exciting fights at 154. Um, hopefully everything is good with him in the future so that we can see him back in the ring. And the 154 pound division is hot right now because we don't know what's going to happen with all of these belts and stuff. So looking forward to seeing what happens with this division. This division always been a hotbed to me. I always looked at it as the best division, and then Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence coming to division, it makes it that much better. Still said you would think a local news station would have one reported about it. Charlo is a star figure in Houston. Sure is. She said, well, I'm glad you and I are seeing eye to eye on this situation, Act. For once, right? You ain't got to take your belt off. Yeah, there is. It's still a lot of hungry lions. Like Charles Conwell, Erickson Lubin still hungry. I'm pretty sure Tim Zoo is wanting to get his get back or, you know, try to work his way back up in the division. So I guess we just have to see. Oh, nope. Of course, of course. Oh, Conwell signed to Golden Boy. Mm. Queen 71 said, "True, there should have been something about it in the news." And I doubt that Maul is going to speak on it. I'm still looking forward to seeing what Maul is going to do also. And I think he still has the belt at 160. I feel like if 160 was more popping, I don't know if Maul would have still had that belt as long as he did, not defending it. I think it's because the 160 division. I think the cruiserweight division better than the 160. And I used to always get at the cruiserweight division. I think the cruiserweight division better than 160 right now. She said Fishnet Promotions is still in business. They sure are. You ain't see um uh Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya laughing at Rolly when he lost. Now, what if Rolly would have really been hurt? Come on, y'all too old for that. Still say yes, the fishery is still open. But my thing is, what if Rolly would have really been hurt? I think and see, Queen, this is where I guess you on the roll today because I agree with you. What if he would have really been hurt though? Or because y'all boy Ryan didn't get the fight? Even though that did kind of show me I would have favored Ryan in that Rolly fight. She said we 2-2. We 2 for 2. What if he would have really been hurt? And just because a person walk outside the ring, that don't mean that they ain't hurt. Yeah, I heard that too, Tay. But then again, my mom was a twin, so I'm gonna say that that's true. Salute, no smoke. TV, salute. He said, not the Charlos. He said, more let. He said, more let Mel get slapped. More, more got slapped too. Hopefully, he get that get back. I heard rumors that him and Caleb Plant was in negotiations, but I don't know how true it is. That's just what I heard. Shoot, Rolly can't get his head off the line either. He said, shout out to Jared. Big up. He said, Jared Hurd. Our fella said. See, but I got to keep it a stack. The Jared Hurd slap was nowhere near as vicious as the Caleb Plant slap. The Caleb Plant slap, that was heard all around the world. That was terrible. If ever there was a Kofi slap in boxing, that was a Kofi slap. Yeah, I think it was a 50-50 fight. I just favored Ryan to win. Man, like if you want to compare the Jared Hurd and the Caleb Plant slap, it was like heroin and crack. Like my old head said, heroin didn't do nothing to what crack did in the black community. That's what that was if we was to compare it. That's why I like that fight for more Charlo next. I think just go up to 168, relinquish that belt at 160. Ain't nothing going on down there. And there's plenty of fights for him there at 168. Plenty of fights at 168. At 160, there's fights, but the only fight you really want to see is like the top contenders and the champions. Janet Becky got 2 belts. And then Moore's WBC and but Janet Beck got the WBO and dang, I don't even remember who. That's how real it is. Normally, I know who got the belts. I don't even know who got the belts there. I know Janet Beck got 2 of them. I just don't remember which ones. Steals a little help here. Oh no. Now I remember. Primo got the WBA super. Islandi Laura. And then Janet Beck got the IBF and the WBO. And Charlo got the WBC. Ace man, salute, bro. My New York City brethren, salute, brother. Good to see you, man. Make sure y'all share, like, and subscribe, especially you, because you a New Yorker. Yeah, nah, it came back to me as soon as I remember Landy Laura had the WBA. I knew everybody who had the belt. I don't know if he would fight Laura. You know how certain people be cool and they was in each other's camps. I don't even know if, even if Derek James ain't training Earl Spence, right? I don't know. And if Mel was cleared and he was good to fight again, I don't know if they will fight because of the history. Our fella said Laura ain't unifying with anybody. I don't like that Janet Beck fight for Laura, even though I think it's a good fight, but I don't like that fight for him. Queen 71 said, why not? I got a bad feeling about that one. He said, I got a bad feeling about this. Say it how you said it again. I got a bad feeling about this. I remember for a while, I never even seen Janet Beck fight. And then when I did see him fight, I was like, oh, okay. It took me like 2 fights to watch. And then I was like, okay. Because I remember Steels kept talking about the Janet Beck variant. And I was just like,
who are these niggas?
I cried.
Tommy Davidson voice. Oh, you said the variant would be from, I don't like that fight either. I don't like that fight neither, Queen. I just feel like Janet Beck, he not playing with nobody kids right now. He said Laura will sit on the belt and get fed more Zarafa's types. Yep. My boy Abel Mahari. I'm gonna give you that back, champ, because I like how you've been handling yourself lately. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get in here. Give you that back. Remember, Mahari. Oh damn! Why I can't get my chat? This wrench is a weapon to be used to build or destroy. So use it wisely. And I want you to remember exactly what I said. It is a weapon to be used to build or destroy. Don't just destroy. Remember the build part. But yeah, Queen, I don't like that fight like that. Sorry, Queen. I don't like that fight. And then could Maul even go down and make that weight at 160? Oh, Uncle Ben, she said, that's that's funny that go with Queen, good comeback with that. Cause what I said came from Thor, and what she said right now came from Spider-Man. That's funny. That's funny that you used that. She said, with great power comes great responsibility. What's good? What's good, Cono Loco? What's good, bro? I see you on the golfing game, man. I might have to get on the computer and play y'all in that golfing, man. That golfing game look fun. I can't even lie to you. I ain't play a golfing game since the Tiger Woods joint. He said the Fundora situation is creating a new set of dilemmas. He said it's fun, laugh out loud. That's my Monday night gateway from boxing. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching it. I was watching you play one day. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, that's dope. That's dope. That's a computer. That's on the PC, Kano. That's on the PC. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. I got you, Kano. I got you. Nah, I gotta chop it up with you. I gotta chop it up with you. I chop it up with you. I got you. My fault. I've been dealing with some things in the personal life. I got you though. He said, yeah, that's on the PC. Also play on tablet. Okay. Queen 71 said we got that problem solved. Thunderbird fights EJ for the WBC. Bud fights Kasazu Tim Zoo for the vacant WBO once Thunderbird drops it. He's gonna have to drop it. Unless he's going to dare to be great and keep the belt. Unless he's gonna tell his team to go scratch and he's gonna fight Terrence Crawford, and then if he can make it through Terrence Crawford, he gonna double back for Earl Spence. But I don't think he's gonna do that. I think his team is gonna tell him just drop that belt, and we're gonna fight Earl in Dallas. If you ask me, that's what I think is gonna happen. He could do a whole nother move. I'm in the mind frame with Steels though. If more Charlo's able to come back, he said, "There, you answered badly." Dwayne said, "Yes, the man them we say." He said, Mahari said, if one sanctioning body would get rid of, I would choose the WBO. Their rules are garbage. What? I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Looking at it from a fan's perspective, now I'm gonna be real about everything. Looking at it from a fan's perspective, yes, the WBO rules are garbage. Looking at it from a boxing perspective, shoot. And if you're a boxer, hell no, that ain't garbage. I win the WBO belt at 122. You move up to 126 and automatically get that fight. What? Hell no. That ain't that ain't bad. That ain't bad to nobody boxing. Hell no, that ain't bad to nobody. Now I gotta keep it a stack. Hell no. If you was boxing Mahari, you wouldn't either. You probably would have fought for the WBO. You probably wouldn't even care about be like, yo, bro, you know what I mean? I just won this belt here. You know what I mean? Maybe I move up now. It become like a 2 division. Nah, shoot. If you was boxing, that ain't. I don't think it's garbage. He said, "Thank you, Steels." He said they all have their faults. The WBA is the worst to me. Yeah, all right. See, Mahari. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. You saying all this IBF stuff, and you would have went for the IBF belt, but what if that 10-pound rehydration clause? What if you ain't really like that? Like, dang, I can't be 10 pounds over the next day, and you like that rule? What if you was big for the weight class? You can make the weight, but what if you big for the weight class? Some people don't like the IBF rule. I ain't gonna lie, the IBF is sometime me to me because they let somebody like Triple G. I remember when Triple G won that belt, right? He was worried because he was scared that one of his kids was going to be born, right? Like the kid could be born any day, and the day that he was fighting, I believe the kid was supposed to be born that day or the next day. So his wife wanted him to be able to fly back. Do you not know he wanted the baby wasn't born? I think he made it in time to see his daughter get born. But do you not know the next time that we seen him, that baby was like 2 years old, 3 years old? That's how long he held on to that belt. And they didn't let Terrence Crawford hold on to it. And I can name so many other fighters that they didn't let. Yeah, they sometime me to me. But if we go to Cruz Dezern, when she fought Jimenez, and remember that Jimenez popped dirty, the only one that gave her belt back was the WBO. Only one. So I'm not gonna. I'm with Steels. They all had their faults in a way, because I could say a negative perspective of the WBO. I do feel like, damn, like, okay, if I was ranked in a division and somebody was in a division under and they were the WBO champion, they get to just move up and skip me in the line. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, Stills, I agree. IBF be premature stripping certain dudes and let other dudes hold on to the belt till Jesus come. Talib Cunningham, salute, bro. Like I said, it just depends. It depends on them. It just depends on what perspective we looking at. It definitely depends on what perspective we looking at. They stripped somebody else prematurely too. I just can't think right. Yeah, didn't they strip more mad quick too. Was they the first ones to strip? Nah, the WBO was. And then wasn't they next? It's just like certain fighters, they just be stripping like that. And then other dudes could just hold on to that joint. So then Mahari, what's gonna be the difference between if if you saying get rid of all of them, right? What's gonna be the difference? He said Steels is an idiot. He said MSP join Team Lineal. Y'all crazy. I mean, there has to be a belt there. See, Steels just saved you because I was gonna ask you. So then, what belt are they gonna compete for? What's gonna be the difference between? That boy Steele said, "Come to death row." He said, "His Excellency created an undisputed belt." All right, I still gotta see it, Steels. I still gotta see it. I still have to see it. Shout out to Turkey Al Sheik, but I just gotta see that belt. I just need to see it. He talked about it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, look, I'm not saying I'm against that, but I'm just saying, like, at first, I was going to say what was going to happen if we get rid of all four belts and we just have the lineal. So that means number one and number two is always going to be fighting. But stuff always change hands every day. Because I feel like at 154, number one was Mel, and then number two was Tim Zoo for me. They ain't fight. So then what happens then? Is it the next person up? So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at one belt. I'm not mad at one belt. It'd be a lot less champions if that was the case. And some people would have never became champions if that was the case. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Uh, let me get ready to get up out of here. Get some sleep. Salute to everybody that came through. Make sure y'all share, like, and subscribe. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, the full Berserker clan, Usual Suspects. Make sure y'all shop usualsuspect6.com because you fit the description, and we'll be back with another one. We're gonna do another what if series. Maybe tomorrow we might do the What If series. Peace out, y'all.
I hit them with that act reacher. Y'all gonna learn today. I'm a teacher. That act reacher. Get into the bag like berserker, boy. Fuck around, I'ma hurt you, boy. Stiff jab, side step, uppercut you, boy. The champ is here, you can't survive in my circle, boy. Yeah. Look at my drip right